volume up. How's everybody doing? This is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger, and welcome to today's live stream. We haven't done any of these fun type of lives in a while, so I figured I'd come live and we chit chat for a little bit and talk about some things. How's everybody doing? How's everybody 2025? Hope everybody had a great 2025 so far. I feel like I got something on me. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah. It definitely was. There it goes. Okay, now we're back. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing amazing. And we're gonna start talking about some of these things that happened to us in our childhood. So I'm really happy about this, to talk about it, because I think it's nice to reminisce and talk about some things, because if we don't reminisce, it's kind of boring. It's nice to think about some good and happy memories of our childhood. So let's get into it. Let's start talking about this. So what do you miss most about your childhood? I want to hear from my audience. Anybody who's watching in the replay, leave a comment in the comment section below. What is your favorite thing about your childhood, or what do you miss about your childhood? Hey Joshua, how are you? Welcome. What do I miss about my childhood? I miss the most when I used to be able to get to sleep in. Sleeping in until whatever time. Hi Adrian. Hi Mudra. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Happy, well, it's Tuesday night here. I don't know what time it is where you are. Welcome. Mudra, I know Mudra. And let me add you as a moderator. Yeah, so welcome in everybody. So tell me, guys, some of your favorite memories of your childhood. Okay, so my favorite memory of my childhood is being able to sleep in. And not just sleep in as long as I wanted to. I had a mom and a dad that did not bother me because I was the youngest of 10. So I got to sleep in. It shifts when you get to be grown with adult responsibilities, taking care of a job, taking care of a home, and so many other things. You miss being a king? I miss being just carefree. That was my favorite part about being younger, is being carefree and not having all of the stress, not having all of the responsibilities that you have when you get older. That's what I miss the most. Yeah, you always live out your childhood. Well, that's good. Hi, Raphael. That's one of the things that I miss about childhood, is sleeping. As you get older and you have responsibilities, you definitely do not get to sleep like you used to, because you have places to be, whether it's work or school, family responsibilities. But that's what I miss the most about childhood, is sleeping. And I think that sleep used to be so good when I was younger, because I wasn't worried about much. the only things that I used to worry about when I was younger was, when is it going to be time to eat? When can I sleep? And when do I get to play? That was my life when I was younger, up until the time I turned 14. But that's a discussion for another day. So what was everybody else's favorite thing about your childhood? Okay, I used to love all of the action figures. Because I have so many siblings, I couldn't stay in the girly stuff and play with Barbies and dolls all the time. I did play when I was by myself when my brothers were gone. But when I was with my brothers, we had to play, what is it? Laser tag, flag football, all the boys, well, I shouldn't say boys sports, but the things that boys like to do. Because I had brothers, I had to do all the boy things. So I do miss those days when it was just hanging out, walking around, and having my boombox. I'm aging myself, but I had my boombox with my cassette tapes, and put it on the back of the bike, riding around, going to 7-Eleven, getting a Slurpee, and having a pocket full of candy, and hustling my candy at school. Those were the good old times, and that's what I miss the most. I miss being able to just eat candy and cake and pie and all of those sugary things, and it not start to put the pounds on you. Do you guys remember when you were younger and you were able to eat whatever you wanted and not gain weight? Then when you got to be a certain age, the weight started to come on. Yeah, so that's what I miss the most. I miss that when my and candy. And how can I get more candy? Let's talk about our favorite old school candy. When I was younger, my favorite candy was 100 Grand. I don't know if you guys know that candy, but it's a chocolate candy. It's like what you call it? It has like the crunchies in it, like the Crunch Bar, but it also has caramel on the inside. That used to be my favorite candy when I was younger. And my brothers and sisters knew it. I would do so many crazy things to get 100 Grand, being the youngest. I loved 100 Grand. And I loved, what's that one candy bar? Whatchamacallit. I also loved, hi, I cannot say your name. Khalil, how are you? Welcome. I loved all candies. They were so good. I loved candy. I still love candy, but now I know what it does to your teeth and your body, so I definitely have slowed down, but I've always loved candy. Oh, it's Anna. Hi, Anna. Hi, Miss Lynn. How are you? Welcome. Happy Tuesday night to you. Hope you're doing amazing and you're having a great day, week, month, 2024. To those of you who I have not said it to, happy 2024. Hope you're having amazing 2024. I'm doing everything that you set out to be and do. Yes. Same to you, Miss Lynn. Hello, beautiful, back to you. So, Miss Lynn, what was your favorite thing about your childhood? Yeah, it's 2025. Hi, Eric. How are you? Welcome. My favorite was candy. All I thought about when I was younger, from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed was candy. It was candy. It was candy. And if it wasn't candy, it was chips. And if it wasn't chips, it was soda. And then it was back to candy. I was that child that refused to eat. And when I got to be older, I apologized to my mom for I gave my mom a horrible time growing up. I refused to eat if it wasn't junk food. I only wanted French fries, candy, hamburgers, pizza, and soda. If it wasn't any of those things, I wouldn't eat it. Miss Lynn says, spending time with my dad. Oh, that's a great memory, Miss Lynn. That's a great memory. I didn't really have that relationship with my dad when I was younger because my parents were usually working a lot. But when they got to be a little bit older, because I did have the older parents, so when my dad went to part-time working and I got to spend more time with him, I do cherish those memories now because my dad is now passed. So has my mom. But I'm happy for everything that happened to me because it turned me into the woman that I am today. It made me stronger. But getting back to what was your favorite memories of childhood? Like I said, number one was sleeping in. Number two would be candy. 3, soda. And there was I remember when the what's that one soda just came out? I was like probably maybe 7 or 8 years old when Crush orange soda came out, and I went crazy. Miss Lynn says, yes, I understand. My little sister and I are 17 years apart. Oh, okay. Me and my oldest sister, we are, I think we're 20 years apart. Me and my oldest, because she would be my oldest sister would be, yeah. No, we're 19 years apart. Me and my oldest sister. Because I have my oldest brother, he's the oldest of the family, and then it's my sister. So she's the oldest girl. So yeah, it's nice that you had that relationship growing up with your sister. It's when I got older, I started to develop relationships with my siblings. We didn't have relationships when we were younger because everybody was way older than me, and they had to go to work or go to school. They didn't have time for a little brat like me. Just kidding. But they didn't have time. You know, people back in the day, people didn't really spend time with the younger people. It was just like you were just parked in front of the TV and you watched TV, or you went outside and played, or you played with your toys. Oh, you practically raised her? Okay, yeah. When I was born, my sister was already out of the house and married. So, and she didn't live in the same city that we did. So I didn't really get to see her. My oldest sister, we're more like, she's like my aunt more than my sister because we didn't grow up in the same house, if that makes sense to you guys. But that's what I loved certain things about being young. I felt free. I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, I felt free. You could do just about anything you wanted to. It wasn't scary like now. I'm not saying crimes weren't happening, because they were, but I loved that I could just ride a bike, or I could go have fun. Hi, Benjamin, how are you? Hey, Realist, how are you? Welcome. Yeah, I miss those times when you could just skateboard, you could ride your bike. And yes, I am old enough we used to do double dutch. We used to do hula hoop. We used to take that chalk and write on the cement. Yeah, times were different, right? Those are good times, being young. young, free, no bills, no responsibilities. Not yet. Times were so different than now. And I think that the younger generation, that they didn't I didn't grow up with much technology. I don't think we got a TV until I want to say like 8 or 9 years old. So my early childhood was all outside. We were outside all day. And yes, I did have that mama that said that you have to be in before the street lights cut on. That's what my mom used to say all the time. Did you make sure you come in before the street lights cut on? And those were good times. And I did have a few times where I did not come home before the street lights cut on. And yeah, and my hide was tanned because yeah. I used to, I don't know why, but it was like right when it was time for you to go inside. Exactly, realist, ridiculous, right? Right when it was time for us to go inside, it was like you were having your best game of your life. Like it was the best, what is it called? Kickball. It was the best hand claps. Young girls don't even know about that anymore, I don't think. But we used to do hand claps for literally hours. Me and my friends, we used to skateboard, hopscotch, ride bikes, and all of those things. So it was a lot of things like that that and hold on a second, guys. I was trying to remove the other one, really. Sorry about that. It's always some ridiculousness. You know, I didn't mean it. Fingers are too fat. But it's crazy how back in the day, things that you had to worry about, I had a whole schedule of when I used to play stickball, what we used to do, double dutch. I remember double dutch competitions, and they were fierce. We used to have double dutch competitions, and the winner would get like 3 or 4 sodas. It was good times. I love those days. Those were good times. It's not like now. Things were different. Things were different back in the day. Um, I think young people now really don't know anything outside of technology. My fun did not involve, well, I can't say it didn't involve technology. That's not true. I'd be lying. Hi, Eric. How are you? My technology didn't involve any of those things. Hold on one second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Woo! Okay. Oh my goodness. Fell off the charger. So, what was everybody's favorite thing growing up? I definitely loved going to my local pizza shop, getting pizza, riding on my bike. Yes, realist. Oh, how did you lose your mod? It removed everything, didn't it? It's back, realist. Um, yeah, keep it respectful. that's the thing that I loved about being young and being free. Who loved that? You know, I loved to be young and I loved to be free. Yeah, and you going. Thank you, realist. I appreciate it. That's what I missed, being young and being free. Who missed being free when you didn't have any bills? When I was younger, all I thought about was getting 18. And I know it sounds ridiculous now, but when I was younger, I don't know, I felt like you had like won some major prize to turn 18. Yeah, realist, I know. I feel like you won like some major prize to turn 18. I could not wait to turn 18 because I was like, I don't know what I thought happened when you turn 18, but I needed to turn 18. And then when I turned 18, it was like, okay, now what? Hi, Carl. How are you? Welcome. Welcome from Florida, or what they say in my area, Florida. Yeah. What was your favorite times? Hey, EB, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your support. That was my favorite thing growing up, was just being free, not worrying about bills and responsibilities. All I thought about was playing and having fun, hanging out with my friends. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I loved it. I loved it. I'm going to be soon bringing you guys on a vacation with me. Yeah, Jam's family, we're going to go on vacation. Because doing what you call it, doing videos, I feel like it's a waste of my time because people don't be watching your videos, and Marlene don't have time to waste. I got too much stuff to do. So what I'm gonna do is, when at each stop or location I go to, I'm gonna go live, show you around, talk for a little bit, and that's how we're gonna do vacation spots from now on, because I have a lot of content that's in my phone and on my camera, and after I get rid of all of that and delete it all, I don't think I'm gonna be doing videos. I think I'm gonna concentrate this channel on being a live only channel. Nobody got time for that. Nobody has time to be editing, doing thumbnails, whatever, CU, keywords, this. If my lives were getting good play, I mean, not my lives, if my uploads were being watched, I would, um, I would do something different. But because they're not, and I usually get the majority of my views on my live streams, I think I'm gonna stick to live. I'm gonna stick to lives. Thank you, Spicy D. Appreciate it. I also have been thinking about making a channel. My best friend has requested that I do something, so I'm going to test it out. If it flops, I'm going to stop it. But I'm thinking about making a ASMR channel. I've been asked countless times to make an ASMR channel. And no, I'm not going to do a channel tapping things. It's not going to be nothing like that. It's going to be an ASMR type of what you call it, eating. Like, but it's going to be different. It's not going to be what you think it's going to be. But that's going to be coming probably in the next 6 months. I'm setting things up and stuff like that. All we can do is try new things on here. That's the fun part of it. Yes, realist. That's the fun part of it. But I have come to the conclusion that once I get rid of my all the uploads, because I have literally on my phone and my camera, I have at least 50 to 60 vlogs worth of stuff. And when I get rid of those 50 or 60 vlogs, yeah, I think that's going to be it. I think I'm done with doing uploads, unless I do an upload like when I do like a review of review of hotels. Those are the only uploads that really work for me. The rest of stuff doesn't. I'm not going to be going somewhere, driving, spending my time, edit a video, get music, keywords, to get 15 views. Yeah, we're not doing that. We don't have time to waste. We're too booked and busy. But anywho, back to the topic. What is everybody's favorite thing about your childhood? What are some things that you miss from being a child? From being a child, one thing I don't miss, I was not a school person. I did not like school. I know a lot of people love school and they thought school was fun. I hated school. I hated everything about it. I hated being around other kids because I'm definitely an introvert. I wanted to be by myself. I think I would have done better doing homeschooling, but in my area, they didn't have that. They didn't have that really back in the day. Now it's popular to do homeschooling, but that's the only thing about my childhood that I did not like. I did not like school. I did not like other kids. So that's one of the things that I had to make sure that I did my best to just not let it affect me, just like I refuse to let other people affect me. I always keep my calm because nobody on here knows me. A lot of people. Oh, it's all good, realists. I don't care about what other people's opinions about me, because like I say all the time, nobody is paying no bills over here. You're not paying no bill over here, so you can have all the opinions that you want. Come, give me some watch time. Drop the comments. I would love to hear more negativity. It's always welcome over here. All I'm going to do is block you. So that's one of the things that I definitely didn't like about my childhood was going to school. I did not like going to school. I did not like other kids. I know some people will think that that's the best part of being a child is hanging around with other kids, but the people that I liked was people who came from my same community, because you know that I'm Caribbean. So those are the people that I still, so people really that I only naturally am drawn to is more Caribbean people who are from the Caribbean, people who are from Africa and things like that. Hey Brad, how are you? Oh, you're on break? How was your day going? Oh, your parents are from Trinidad? Yeah, awesome. Yeah, my parents are Jamaican. The first half of my siblings are pure Jamaican. Of course, you're always busy. Yeah. You're always busy doing something. What's the weather like, Brad? What's everybody's weather like where you are? Oh, you have 100 employees? Wow, that's a lot. One day I'm going to be like you, Brad. Right now I only have 2 employees. But eventually, it will grow eventually. But I'm working on my entrepreneurial stuff. Still working that for the slave driver, But when it gets to be big enough, which I think it will be eventually, I'm going to be able to walk away from that and to just chill and be fully retired. That's my plan, to retire in 5 years. I got 5 years to make the plan work, right? So back to this topic. When I was younger, I used to always get in trouble because I love makeup. I've always loved makeup. Even when I was like 4 years old, I was always in my sister's stuff. I was always in my mom's stuff. I was always getting licks. I can't tell you how much I got beat from breaking a lipstick or eyeshadow palette or something, breaking somebody's makeup, something, because I didn't know what I was doing. But that was my favorite part of being young. And I wish they had technology like they have now, that I had some footage of when I used to be up to my mischief, being in my sister's stuff, putting on my brother's clothes. Do you all remember back in the day when there used to be the color blocked shirts that used to have like a million colors on it? Oh, thank you, Brad. Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super sticker. Next time I go live on my StreamYard, I'm gonna give you I'll put the panda dance up for you. Have a great rest of your day. But that was my favorite thing when I was growing up and having so much fun doing all of the makeup, messing in. I used to take my mom's lipstick and I would used to put it on my eyelids. I didn't know nothing about makeup. Yes, take care, Brad. I used to take my mom's eyeshadows and put it on as lipstick. I had no idea what I was doing. They didn't talk to you about stuff back in the day. You just flew by the seat of your pants. You didn't know what you were doing. At least I didn't know what I was doing. But when I was younger, yes, I'm going to probably be the only person in history to say this. So probably, I bet somebody's going to probably screenshot this or something, but or clip this. But I was the only person in the world that loved a Jerry curl. I had a Jerry curl from the time I was like 10 years old to the time before I went to high school. And of course, there is no pictures of that, so I cannot confirm or deny it. But I loved having a Jerry curl. I don't know why people used to be hating on the Jerry curls. I used to have my Jerry curl juice in the spray bottle, and I'm talking about my Jerry curl used to be when I say glistening, okay? My Jerry curl was glistening. I used to put like almost half of a bottle of the Jerry curl juice in there. I loved it. My mom used to be so pissed off that I would use almost the half of a bottle of the, what was the brand? Johnson. It was the gold bottle, and it had a red top. Carefree curls. My mom used to be so mad. I used to use almost half of a bottle every time when I would be in there just spraying my Jerry curl, and it was so shiny, and I used to pick it out. It was everything. So I don't know why people be hating on the Jerry curl juice. Jerry curls used to be everything. I used to have I used to have my Jerry curl. I used to have my gold, what was his name? I used to have my Dougie Fresh gold rope chain. I used to have my Adidas sweatsuit on with the matching sneakers. Yeah, and I used to think I was too tough. I thought I was so bad with my Jerry curl and my Adidas pantsuit and my fake. It was not real. Remember when they used to sell the gold rope chains? everywhere. On the corner store, at the gas station, people on the side of the road. Yeah, I miss that. And then when I got out of the hip hop R&B, I went all the way left, and I went completely punk. Boy, my mom used to be so sad, and she used to cry that when I went punk, because I used to wear the goth makeup, black eyeliner, black lipstick. Yeah, those are good times. Yep, those are the best times when I was in that goth phase and listening to death metal and things like that. That was the happiest time in my life because people just would leave me alone because I was different. I've been through a lot of different phases in my life. I had my hip hop phase where I thought I was Dougie Fresh. I had my phase where I thought I was a rocker. I had my phase where I had my African phase where I wore nothing but African clothes and the dashikis and you know. Yeah, I had all of those phases growing up, and they were good times. I enjoyed every single part of the phases of my life. But now I'm in a really good space in my life. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes some of the things that we go through in our life helps us to really be able to find out who we are. And I'm grateful that I had parents that let me be strange, weird through all my phases. I know my mom didn't like when I did all this crazy stuff to my hair, diet, when I shaved all my hair off, when I got all the piercings in my ears, when I went through that piercing phase. I had all of up here pierced, everything. I was pierced, even nose, my bottom lip. It was a phase, but that didn't last long. That was like a 2-month phase of my life. But then after that, I turned into who I am today, and I'm grateful for all of that. So that, with all that being said, I feel like I was talking to my therapist while I was talking to you guys. But that was my favorite time, being able to just be free to express myself. And I think as we get older, we don't express ourselves like we did when we were younger. At least I didn't. I miss those times where I used to just, like, I did not care. Like, I literally did not care. Especially when I was in my punk phase. I may do a video. I think I do have pictures. I may do a video so you guys can see my punk phase where I had I had an undercut. All this was like shaved. Half of my head was like a mohawk, and then my hair was relaxed so I could flip it over. So a lot of people didn't even know that I had an undercut and my hair was shaved because I wore a bob, and the undercut was on this side. Shout out to my brother who gave me an undercut, under wraps, without my mama knowing. When I was at home, I wore a bob. When I was out, I would flip it over and be cool. Best times of childhood. Shout out to my brother, my partner in crime forever. So that was my favorite time about being young and free, hanging out with my brothers. Like I said earlier, I didn't really have a relationship with my sisters. It was mainly, I was with my brothers all the time. So even till this day, I have a closer bond with my brothers than my sisters because, I don't know, I just feel like I could talk to my brothers more than I can talk to my sisters. I could talk to my brothers without judgment. I don't know. I don't know if it's my family or that's just how the brother and sister relationship is. But till this day, I can tell my brother something quicker than I tell my sisters. I don't know. So let's talk about some things from childhood. What was your favorite snacks growing up? My favorite snack When I was younger, I had an obsession with, what is those things called? Cheese curls. I didn't care what brand. They could be bootleg, they could be any kind, but I loved cheese curls. Cheese curls, cheese puffs. I loved all of it. I was there for anything that was garbage food or junk food, as my mom would say, garbage food. Junk food. I loved junk food. Chips, candy, soda. The only thing, when I was younger, I did not like any sort of vegetable. I refused. I always said it's a miracle I'm alive because I did not drink water. I did not eat vegetables when I was growing up. No. I don't know. They say you're supposed to have vitamins and all this stuff when you're younger, but I didn't. I didn't eat none of it. I didn't start eating vegetables until I became grown. I don't know. Miss Lynn says you love cheese puffs. You know what, Miss Lynn? I think I've eaten so much cheese puffs that now I can't eat them. I can't eat them anymore. I think I ate my weight in cheese puffs throughout the time from I was little until I got to be in my early 20s. I ate so much cheese puffs. It's crazy. I probably made what's that company? I think the one that my mom used to buy was Wise. I don't think it was Cheetos yet. I don't think so. I think it was Wise cheese. It was the crunchy ones, and it was the puffy ones. She said, I just don't eat often. Yeah, that's one of the things about being young. You wanted to, Miss Lynn, do you miss that? I do. Yeah, and I had brothers, so I grew up like you had to eat. You know, they weren't going to play games with you. If the food was put out and you didn't hurry up and eat, my brother would, oh, you don't want that? They take their fork, put it right on their plate, and that was it. And there was nothing else because my mom used to cook in a buffet style. So once it was gone, you were on your own. Zani! Hi, Zon. How are you doing? Welcome. I hope you're having a great day. Hey, Garden of Inspiration, how are you? Welcome. We're just talking about our childhood and the things that, well, I'm talking about the things I enjoy. Nobody's not really saying much. Miss Lynn says she loved cheese curls. And I was talking about how I loved having a Jerry curl. I was waiting for a slick comment, but nobody said nothing. So I guess you guys are cool with Jerry curls. But I'm the only person in the world that will admit it. I loved my Jerry curl, and I did not care. I loved my Soul Glow. I used to be in the bathroom with the curl activator spritzing, and I'm talking about my fro used to be glistening. My mom used to be so pissed off that I would use almost the entire bottle of that orange and red, what is it called? Carefree Curls. She was so mad. It was that one, and I think it was S Curl Activator. I used to just take that jar and just I used to just go in. I used to just scoop it up and just, ooh, yes. You never had one? Oh, wow. Yeah, I begged. I drove my dad crazy till he was like, fine, get a Jerry curl. My big childhood memory is family dinners. Oh, wow. Big family dinners. Yeah, we used to have those, but I think the time we used to have the big family dinners was Sunday. When I was growing up, it didn't matter. Sick, lame, and lazy, you better be at Sunday dinner. And it was a lot of shenanigans. I don't know about you guys home, but in our family, because we had a big family, it was so much shenanigans. One One memory was, I remember my mom put out all of the food and somebody was taking a bath, somebody was doing something, and we didn't know that the back door was open, and our dog came in, sat at the table, and was eating my dad's dinner before we got there. I wish I had a video footage of that, because back in the day, people didn't have cameras like that. When I was growing up, we had 35 millimeter cameras. You had to wind them up. So by the time my mom wound up that camera, he was already done eating. But he was there, sitting in the chair, eating my dad's dinner. Yeah, we had to sit down for Sunday dinner. Yeah, we had to. It was not optional. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are. Everybody knew. But it wasn't like now. Like, now they force people to work on Sunday. You didn't have to work on Sunday back in the day. It used to be like, if you had to work on Sunday, everybody would be off by like noon, and most things were closed. I don't know who's old enough to remember this, but remember when you couldn't even get alcohol on Sunday? Sunday, all the alcohol, the liquor stores everywhere was closed, and you couldn't get alcohol on Sunday at all. If they had alcohol in the store, they would not sell it to you if it wasn't Sunday. You had to get your alcohol on Saturday. Garden of Inspiration says, I miss the 90s music, especially R&B. Wasn't that some good stuff? Oh, I remember my dad. I still have some of my dad's record collection. Maybe I'll make a video and show that. But my dad had an amazing record collection. Teddy Pendergrass, everybody. Hey, Big Rooster, how are you doing? Welcome. Yes, back in the day, no one worked on. You did not work on a Sunday. You did not work on a Sunday. I don't care what anybody has to say. Sunday was like, no, no, no. You do not work on Sunday, because it was about getting home, spending time with your family, laughing, and being in shenanigans. I don't know about y'all family, but Sunday dinner used to be playing cards, and there was always somebody who was doing some mischief. Yeah, I'm doing amazing, Big Rooster. Glad you're doing well too. That was my favorite thing. My favorite thing was, there was a dessert table. Do you guys used to have that long dessert table? And I didn't like to eat. My thing was getting dessert. I did not want to eat my dinner and then get dessert. So I always got in trouble, but I did it every single time. Every single time. I don't know why my mom didn't just give it to me, but every time she would put out the desserts while everybody was looking and doing this and setting up and cleaning. Marlene was over there. I was eating apple pie, a piece of cake. Because I was like, I'm not waiting. I already know that. It's all these people here. You think I'm going to wait? And then they'll be like, oh, the cake is done. The pie is gone. I learned my lesson real early. The early bird gets the worm. Yeah, and no one worked on, you didn't work on Sundays. You didn't work on any of the major holidays like New Year's Day, Easter. That was out. There was no way anybody worked on Easter. That was out of the question. Absolutely not gonna happen. Absolutely not gonna happen. I remember when I got to be a little bit older, and I realized what it was like being an adult, that like I don't get to chill anymore. On Saturdays, it was like, it's time to go to work. And I was like, what? Go to work? I was like, but I just worked last week. Hey, Miss Purple, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday. When I got to be 14, I didn't understand. Who used to, when you were 14, back in the day, you got your little job and it was the weekend, you got to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But the Sunday was only for 4 hours. You just go in from like 8 until noon. and then you were out of there. But I didn't like when I found out that working meant you gotta keep working. I just thought it was like, okay, I worked last weekend, and when I got paid, I wasn't interested in going back to work. And my daddy was like, oh, no, 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 you better wake up. It's time for you to go to work. When I found out the gig was up and I don't get to do all that fun stuff like staying home, being in my pajamas, and eating ice cream, when that responsibility came down on me, man, I was very upset about that part. How about you guys? You guys were fine? You adjusted well? I didn't. I did not adjust well when I found out that I had to go to work starting at 14. I don't know what I thought it was. Till this day, I don't know what I thought it was. I just thought, okay, I got a job. And after I got my first paycheck, I thought that was it. I thought my parents were just like teaching me a lesson. Okay, we're going to show you what it's like to work. And then, okay, I was like, okay, memo, I got it. I know what it's like to work. So we're cool now. I can go back. And they're like, no, you're going to be working from now on every single weekend. And I was like, nobody told me this. I didn't know it was every weekend. I thought it was like you go and you get a job on the weekend, you work 2 weeks, you get that paycheck, and then that's it. That's what I thought. I didn't know that it meant you have to continue working and working and working and working. I didn't know that part. I don't know. You know how back in the day, the parents, the adults, whoever raised you, didn't used to tell you certain conversations and talk to you about things. It was like you were just supposed to know. There was a lot of assumptions. I can't say for everybody's parents, but I can say for mine. My parents didn't talk about certain issues. Definitely didn't talk about how you felt. You definitely weren't getting no hugs. Nobody was talking about they love you. It was a lot of toxicity that happened back in the day that I did not like. It was so much toxicity. I don't know. There's nothing that you can do. It's you learn from it, you grow from it, and when you get to be an adult, you change it. I had to do a lot of healing and work on myself as an adult. A lot of healing, because it's so much foolishness that you are taught when you're young. Like what I used to hate when I was younger, I hated when my mom and dad used to have a double standard for me and my brother. They used to be like, he can do it, but you can't do it because you're a girl. And I'd be like, what? How sway? They were like, you're a girl. Girls can't do that, but boys. So why is it a boy can do it, but a girl can't? And then sometimes it would be opposite. Sometimes I could do things and my brothers couldn't do it. It just made no sense. I never liked the double standards. And I told you guys, I used to always be getting licks, getting hit, getting a shoe thrown at me, something, because I needed to know why. And I think since I've been young, I've always been an advocate. Like, I don't do double standards. Like, how come I can do it and he can't? And anybody who knows about parents back in the day, there wasn't no back talk. You couldn't state your opinion. You couldn't tell them when they were wrong. But that was a very toxic environment, because parents, I think everybody could learn. You could learn from a younger person. It doesn't have to be that you agree with everybody all the time. I always felt like it was a military camp. A military camp. That's how I felt growing up. I lived in the military camp. I don't know if you guys know, but my dad used to be a Jamaican police officer. So there was that. So I feel like a lot of things that happened growing up was like he was raising us to be little militants. It was like 5 o'clock, wake up. We had to all line up. Who knew about that? I think maybe that's just a Caribbean thing, that everybody had to line up, and you better, and you had to hold out your hands, like nails better be clean, teeth brushed. He look you up and down, and not now, but back then, your clothes had to be pleated, you ironed, you had to look good, your shoes had to be shined. Who knows about shining their shoes with that what's that, black, that black thing, and you used to have to put some on a rag or a brush and shine your shoes. Yeah, that's how it was. The boys and girls had to have their shoes shined. You had to wear pantyhose all the time, and it did not matter how hot it was. Sheesh. It used to be like 90 degrees here in Florida, and we had to be in pantyhose and what are those, Mary Jane shoes? And you better have it popping, and you better look good, because my dad used to always say that we are a reflection of him, and he didn't play. You better not ever be dirty. Better keep yourself right. That's how it was. And that's why when I look at my nieces, my nephews, my cousins, other people who are young now, I was like, you guys have no idea. You have it so good. They do. Like, you can wear regular clothes. You can wear t-shirts and shorts. You can say your opinion. You get hugs and love. But I think every generation should evolve. I do. Yes, Dawn. Yes, evolving. So, I don't take back anything, because I know that being tough and stuff, that taught me how to be organized. It taught me to be a hard worker. It taught me to not wait for anybody to speak up for myself. It taught me a lot of things, but at the same time, I think that there was a lot of people from that generation that were overworkers. They only thought about working, and making money, and not really thinking about, you work hard, have some fun, spend time with your family, take a vacation. Yeah, wow is right. Very, very, very strict. And we used to have inspections of our room, and our room everything better be organized. You better make sure it's dusted. That was me and my siblings' childhood. That's why almost all of us, by the time we got to be 18, everyone's like, shoo, like, we're out of here, because we can't do this military camp. Okay, military camp. But when we found out, when we get out there, that military camp wasn't that bad. Military camp was free. Okay. Yeah, military camp was free. But that's how I grew up. I grew up with strict, it was rules. I didn't grow up with love and affection. I think probably the first time I was ever told that I was loved, I think my dad told me, the first time my dad told me he loved me, I'll never forget it. I graduated high school. And if you guys know about my family history, my grandparents only got elementary school education, about 5th grade. My parents got middle school education, so about 8th grade. So me and my siblings, we were the first generation to graduate high school. So I think it did something to my dad. I was like, when he hugged me and told me he loved me that day, I was like, what? Even my siblings was like, what? Say what? Yeah. And from that time, things started changing. I guess they started learning things, that it's okay to hug. It's okay to talk about stuff. So by the time my nieces and nephews, their grandkids were born, they became the parents that I wanted. And I was like, how come I didn't get that? How come I didn't get that? Why y'all get that? So, but it is what it is. That's how I grew up. So, this was a fun one. You guys got to learn some things about me. I got to learn some fun things about you. I'm gonna stay on for like 10 more minutes. I have a premiere coming up at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Miss Lynn says, yes, my dad and mom the same. Oh, you had to do that. You went through that too? Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't stand when I used to go and be around my friends, and I used to see how their home environment was like, "Hey, have a good day," or when you come home asking how your day was and hugging them, and I would be looking like, where they do that at? We didn't get that, I'm just saying. A lot of people won't be honest, but we didn't get those hugs until I was already out of school. I was already out of high school when my parents started to evolve into asking questions like, how are you doing, and things like that. It was strange and weird for me. My mom was just religious and sweet. My dad was a hardball, not really affectionate. Yeah, I think that's usually how it goes. But honestly, I think most men were not affectionate because they didn't get affection. I don't think that most dads or men want to not be affectionate, but they're raised to be tough and hard, and because I had this conversation with my brothers too, and they said they had a hard time in the beginning with romantic relationships and things like that, because when you don't grow up having affection, it kind of makes you a little different when it comes to having affection from a partner. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I'm just saying. And that's why when I got to be grown, I went wild. Because I was like, you can't hold me back no more. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Okay? Yeah. And that's how that went. Okay? But it is what it is. Then I learned when I calmed down, like when you get out there, you understand that it's not what you thought it was. And because back in the day, parents didn't talk to you about those important conversations about protecting yourself. And I say this because I don't want you to have pregnancy, heartache. They didn't talk about any of that stuff. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why, but that generation, I had parents that were baby boomers, so their generation just didn't talk about anything romantic, feelings, sexuality. It was no, everything. If you didn't read it and you didn't hear it from a friend, or you didn't watch it on TV, that was your education. You learned from life. That's what it was. And I don't think that's good, because I know a lot of people like me who got into some situations just because you weren't told. That's not good, because X, Y, and Z, this will happen to you. So childhood is really a learning lesson for so many people. And why I start off this conversation talking about, I really feel sorry sometimes for how boys are treated versus girls, because even though I feel like my upbringing was tough and hard, my brothers, that was a whole different thing, because it was like, you have to be men and you can't cry and you can't do this. Where I didn't get that. I didn't get told I can't cry, and I still got to, like, well, it's okay, you're a girl. But it wasn't like if something happened, someone was going to wrap their arms around me and tell me it was going to be okay. They would just be like, oh, stop that crying. And then that was about it. That's how I grew up. Not really having conversations and talking about stuff. And no matter what anybody says, when you grow up like that, tough, you really have a problem expressing how you feel, you have a problem showing affection. I still think sometimes I am very tough because I was mainly around my brothers, and my brothers always laugh at me and say I was more boy than girl. I've always been tough. I've always been, I'm a hustler, natural born hustler. Always been about taking care of my responsibilities, but had to learn that it is nothing wrong with saying how you feel and setting boundaries. I think that's something that's so important. It's important as we get older, as we go through things, for us to say, I don't want if you have younger brothers or sisters, or you have cousins, and God forbid you have children, don't hurt another generation. Talk to them about stuff. Okay, I don't want you to do X, Y, and Z because, okay? And then I talk to them. I talk to them real talk about stuff I went through that my parents wouldn't talk to me about, or my siblings won't talk to them about certain stuff, because I don't think just saying no, that's not enough. Because just saying no, if it has to be a choice between choosing your friends or listening to what your parents say, you're going to go with your friends, because your friends are the most important thing to you when you're growing up. And it's not a good lesson to listen to your peers. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not one of those that don't believe in that, because I'm that type of person now, that I am definitely the fun auntie. I'm definitely the fun sister and, friend and all that now, because I spent so many years like this, uptight, strict, rigid, militant, that now I'm just like, I'm just chilling now. Yeah. Yeah, right, Dawn. It's the influence. So you become easily influenced. So I think one day I'm gonna do that as a podcast. Maybe have one of my brothers come on here and talk about, male male, how it was for being being a boy in a time where you were not allowed to show affection, to cry, how that affected them, how that impacted them. I think that's a powerful conversation. What do you guys think? You think I should do it? I may do that on my podcast channel, talk about some stuff, but I think that's a very powerful conversation. I can't talk about it. I'm not a there's certain topics I don't talk about. Like, I will start the live and then I'm just gonna let my brother talk, because I'm not a man. I don't know what men go through. I see some things that happen to men, but I'm never going to comment and say, oh, this is what men go through. This is, no, I'm not going to do that. But I can have a a podcast and have men talk about their perspective and things like that. I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool. So I've just been here chatting, your ears off. I hope I'm not boring you guys with this conversation. I wanted to say to everybody, no matter what you've been through in your life, from your childhood, I hope that it's something that is, you learn, you grow from it. Because I know my childhood, I went through some certain stuff in my life, which I think everybody does, that's traumatic, that's dark. And I made a choice to do some things. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm always going to say this. I will always advocate for therapy. I know, especially with people who look like me, or people of other countries. Lisa says being raised with minimal affection goes back 2 or 3 generations. It does. Yes. Yes, he does, Ava. How are you doing? Welcome. So that's one of the things that I had to learn, that even though I went through trauma, even though I went through lack of affection, even though, there was not conversation, or, learning to communicate how you feel, that takes time. But I wanted to show that I may not be 100%, but now my nieces and my nephews, little cousins, everybody who is born after me is most definitely going to learn about love. Hey Robert, how are you? Welcome. Everybody that's coming after me is going to learn about love, is going to be, know about boundaries, and that there can be multiple opinions. There does not have to only be one. And I think for a lot of us growing up, it was like the only opinion that there can be is your parents' opinion, like hard like a fist, like iron fist, I guess you could say. Iron fist upbringing that is only children are seen and not heard. And I don't like that. I don't like that growing up. I think everybody's voice in a family matters, whether it's a child. Like, I'm not talking about, letting the kids run the whole show, but you should have some time where you talk to your kids, and you ask them how they're feeling, and reaffirm that inside of them. I want you, do you know, like I tell my nieces and nephews, do you know you're loved? Do you know you can do anything? And I believe in you. And I tell them that, the things that happens to you in school, in a few years, these kids are going to be irrelevant. They're not going to matter. So don't worry about who likes you and what they're saying about you. You just keep being you. I celebrate them, and I tell them to be an individual. Be an individual. Love yourself. And the ones that don't care for you, don't like you, or are laughing about, let them laugh. Forget them and move on. And I wish that I had got that powerful thing, because it would have stopped me from that really dark period that I had from the time that I was 14 until about 19. I had a really dark period where I was thinking too much about other people's opinions, but it was all that time that it took me to learn to love myself, learn to, who cares, screw other people's opinions, and care about yourself, and develop your own relationships and your own friendships. That I couldn't only base my love on the love of my relatives. And notice I said relatives, because just because somebody has the same blood, that does not make them your family. Family is who loves, cares, and supports you. And right now, I have the majority of people that are in my family right now, they are not blood. They're not my blood family. Yes, kids' table and all. Yes, it's so true, Robert. So that was how I could understand what my mom and grandmother went through, while I work out my pain and try my best to do better for my children and grandchildren. Yes, Lisa, I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. My parents were that way, and towards the end of their life, I think like the last maybe 10 to 15 years of my parents' life, they started to learn to adopt, communication, and showing hugs, and, asking questions, things like that. But I was already growing at that time. But it's better now for my nieces and my nephews. Sometimes I think that Generation X is the generation that had to put up with, so much in order for the Generation Y and Z to spread their wings and fly. I'm happy to see my nieces and nephews spreading their wings and flying at a much younger age and rate than I did. I love seeing my little niece talking to herself in the mirror, talk about, I'm so fly and I'm so cute and I love myself. That, it does something to me. I feel happy and proud that that's happening now. Pour in that self love and be an individual. I love that. Miss Lynn says, yes, children need to be able to share what is going on. They do. Lisa says, I let my children have a voice and family hated me for it. Yeah, but you know what it is that people are going to be very upset with anything new. If something is new, people aren't going to like it. So, you know, I learned that when I started going to therapy. My whole family said I lost my mind and I'm crazy. And what it is that people buck under the pressure of any change. Now we have to communicate. Now you can't hide behind, you know, shutting down. Now you have to really say how you feel. Now you have to speak up for yourself. Now you have to advocate. And it's hard, but the change is necessary so we can be better people. So this has been a great topic. I've enjoyed it. Right now, I have a premiere that's about to start. For those of you who can come over to my premiere, I have a premiere. I think I was going to Olive Garden. If you guys can tap in for a little bit, at least if you can't stay, hit the like. But I would love if you guys would come over to my premiere. I'll see you guys on the next one. I think I'm doing a live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a live for about 30 minutes. Thank you to everybody who came over. If you're new here, hit the like, subscribe. Shout out to all of my amazing mods. Make sure you check out my mods. Lynn's Life Lessons, Realist One here, You Learn with Robert, Delightful underscore Dawn, Big Rooster Show, The Garden of Inspiration, and Toronto Brad. I think I got all my mods right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys at the premiere. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back in the live tomorrow. Let's see if I can put the premiere. Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting it right now before I end. Okay. Okay. Okay, I just put the link to the premiere. I'll see you guys over there. Bye, guys.